Yes, I can.
Okay. Once again, everyone, my name is Gus. I appreciate everyone jumping in here and taking a look at the help desk today. I want to walk you through a few of the slides here, and then we'll jump into a live demo. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're busy, but we'd love to share with you a few of the things that we've found have been very successful for our customers. As you can see here, you know, the hosted the help desk benefits: improve technician productivity, reduce response time, increase end user satisfaction, lower overall cost by eliminating server maintenance. Keep your, this says school, but we have other organizations up to date with the latest technology, as well as you know, going through the help desk here. Some of the benefits: allowing users and technicians to access the help desk anytime, anywhere. That includes mobile compatible iPhones, Droids, Blackberries, iPads. Oftentimes, you know, you as technicians, you're on the go, so why wouldn't your help desk be on the go as well? Being able to access it, easily update it, complete, you know, tickets kind of as you go. Improving technician productivity and reduce response time. Once again, being able to access it from any computer, a mobile device. You know, it's a lot easier to you know, get some of those response times in. Lower overall costs. Eliminate the need to maintain costly server infrastructure. We're seeing more and more organizations move, you know, software solutions into the cloud for this reason, and so we, you know, want to be able to offer that as well. Reduce man hours associated with server maintenance and configuration. Avoid additional upfront costs. Stay up to date with the latest technologies, automatic software upgrades. Eliminate the time and effort associated with upgrading the software, right? We can do that for you. As we bring out updates, we can communicate with you and make sure that you guys are up to date as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead here. I am going to share my this is what I was trying to do earlier. I'm going to share my my desktop. Amy, can you see the login page with my mouse moving around?
Yes, I can. It looks good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So what I want to do is I want to kind of just briefly walk you through 3 different areas of the help desk. Once again, it's web-based, mobile compatible, easy to make accessible to end users. A link on a website, a bookmark, a shortcut. You know, there's some things that we can do to really make this easy. I want to start with the end user experience. Some of you may not allow your end users to go online and fill out a ticket, and that's okay. We have other avenues, phones, emails, right, that we can kind of automate and bring a lot of that information in for you automatically. But I want to show you the end user form. It's not something you have to use, but we've had great success with it because of how easy it is to do. And I'll kind of explain there. Once I'm done with that, I'll jump in as a technician, kind of just show you how do I update a ticket, close a ticket, you know, the ins and outs of that, and then maybe conclude on the managerial side where we're looking at a few of the reports. I'm going to be scratching the surface here. This is a kind of a brief introduction overview. If you have additional questions, feel free to throw those into the chat box. We answer those at the end, and so we'd be happy to go through those with you. And then, you know, if you wanted to, at another day and time, we could do one-on-one webinar with you to kind of go through specifics of your organization. And so know that that is available as well. You'll notice here it says login ID and password. We do ask for authentication, but good news is that we actually will use your directory for authentication. You're not having to recreate login ID and passwords for all of your end users. We're simply going to use, you know, most of you are probably using Active Directory, eDirectory, Open LDAP Directory, or other options as well. But let's say that I'm an end user. I'm not a technician. I'm not a manager. I'm an end user who needs some help. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. Once again, we're authenticating through your directory. Now, I've logged in as Nikki Patterson. Before I come over here and create a new ticket, you'll notice down here that I actually have a list of tickets. I have 11. Now, hopefully, you don't have an end user with 11 open tickets at one time. This is a demo database, and so sometimes it gets a little crazy. But this is a great place for me, Nikki, to come here and see the status updates to my tickets. I only will see my tickets. I won't see everyone's tickets. It's very secure. But once again, it's a great for communication. They don't have to call you, email you. They have a place where they can come to see this information. It's kind of like package tracking through the post office, right? They have a place where they could go to see this information. Now, most of this information is going to be view only, but you do have the ability to give them the option to update, maybe just put in a note or something like that if you wanted to allow them to do that. With that said, you do not have to allow them to see this. You can remove this from their view so that they're not seeing it. You'll notice here the marquee. This is take you 5-10 seconds to change. It's really easy. It's great for alerts. When you're allowing a user to go online to fill out a ticket, oftentimes you will want to alert them. Hey, the phones are down. We know they're down. Please don't submit tickets for phone issues. The last thing you guys need are 25, 30 tickets for a phone issue that you already know about. And so it's great to go in there and let them know some of the different things that are happening. Now, for this instance, I actually want to take a minute and I want to create a new ticket. Number one, I want to introduce you to the form. Number two, I want to show you how easy this is to do. I'm going to take a minute or two and kind of explain some of your options when it comes to creating the form, but I hope that at the end of it you would see how easy it is for the end user to fill this out. The first drop down you see here is what we call group. Now, I would assume that the majority of you are coming from an IT background. It's IT, technical services, information technology, whatever it might be. And I'm going to stick with that today. But you'll notice I have some other options here. Maintenance, human resources, payroll. Most of our customers are now using this software in multiple departments. The key is that there's rights and securities separating departments, meaning let's say maintenance is using this as well. You don't see maintenance tickets, they don't see your tickets, you don't report on each other's tickets unless given rights to do so. We're just trying to create a central place for the end user to go for help, whether for heating and air conditioning or maybe for their computer, right? They're coming to one place and then our software will correctly route it to the appropriate team from there. Now, if you're only using this in IT, it will actually default to this form right here. Now, you'll notice right off the bat, contact information is pre-populated. We're pulling this from the directory, and so we want to make it easy. I've mentioned that a few times, and so instead of them telling us who they are, their phone, their email, every time they fill this out, we're just going to go snag that information and go grab it and bring it in through the directory so that it makes it a little bit easier for them to fill out. Now, the ticket info section, category option, we're going to ask them to fill out a few simple drop-down fields here to get a little bit more information out of them. Now, one thing that I want to mention when it comes to setting this up is that every drop-down or every field you see in here, you have the ability to populate. And so don't be thrown off by what I have here. This is going to be what you want. I have it as like hardware, network, software, training, things like that. You may have a completely different list. At the end of the day, take you literally seconds to build this list. It's a very easy tool in the managerial side of this where you can determine what you want your drop-downs to be. Now, there is some intelligence here. For instance, if I choose hardware and I come to category option, I'm now looking at specific types of hardware. If I choose software, I would then see maybe different types of software applications that we would support as well. Once again, configured by you. Don't be thrown off by what I have right here. You'll also notice that I didn't see any other departments here. That's because each department has their own category and category options. And so based on what they choose up here will be determined what is in the drop-downs when it comes in here, based off of obviously group or department that you would have. Now, I can come in here and I can choose boot problem, or I can even come in here and let's say I choose keyboard. I mean, there's a bunch of different options when it comes to what you want to choose. Now, another option that you do have is that you have custom fields. And so let's say I choose printer and I want some additional fields to populate. You do have the option to add those. It would take you 3 to 5 seconds to build one of those fields. You can actually make it required. You can make it a drop-down, checkbox, radio button, bunch of different options when it comes to what you want your custom fields to say. And so just know that that's also available. You're not limited to these 2 fields. We can go ahead and we can add as many fields as you wanted based on what they choose even in filling that out. Something that's not listed here because I'm an end user is assignment. If you want, you have the ability to go in and route assignments. You can send it to what we call a ticket pool or a team queue, or you can even on the back end say if it's hardware, we're going to send it to this person. Or if it comes from this specific location, we're going to route it to a first level support tech at that location. And so there is some automated routing when it comes to who we want to get this that you can predefine through the backside. All right, priority, status, these are fields that are obviously view only for me, but you have the ability to determine what those are as well. Subject note, I can attach a file here, maybe a screenshot or something like that. You can put file size limits on that so that they can't send you, files larger than you would want. Once again, I apologize for being a little long-winded, but I hope you can see how easy it would be for the end user to come in here and fill this out. All right, with that said, I'm going to jump out. You'll even notice a knowledge base. I can even access it here without having to log in if I wanted to. But what's nice about the knowledge base is that there's two sides. I'm not going to get too in-depth here, but public and private. A public article is for your end users, your top 10, your top 15 frequently asked questions. If you want to go out there and you want to be able to, give them frequently asked questions, they can do a little self-help. By all means, you have that ability. Each of these articles are a link to a web page, and so you can throw these links out on the website. Here's our top, 10, 15 from there. You'll notice it says public. A private article, that's going to be more detailed resolution, sensitive documentation that you don't want end users seeing or attempting. You can make it private, and then only those with technician rights to your department can view those articles. And so oftentimes you're sharing with each other, different resolution or different documentation, and so you can store it in here and know that it's secure as well. All right, let me come back here. I'm going to jump in more on the tech manager side of this. All right, so let me make a quick change. I apologize. I want to simplify it down. You can obviously customize this view, as you saw, which I'll talk about here in just a second. But let's say that I log in as a technician. Most likely, this is what I'll see. I'll see my assignments. Now, maybe I'm a part of a team queue here, and I can see those particular tickets. This tab is a managerial view. Just because I'm routing assignments or I'm sending them to different people doesn't mean that I don't have rights to see them as a manager. So I can always come in here, see what's going on, show me oldest tickets first. I want to break it down by assignment. I mean, there's tons of different options that you have. You'll even notice this, did you spill Coke on your keyboard again, right? This is a custom field. And so you have the ability to not only see standard fields here, but custom fields. You can put them in any order you want. You can remove fields, add fields. Very customized as far as your view. I keep saying customized, but just know how it's very easy to make those adjustments and to make those customizations. You don't have to go to a university or a 2-week training or anything like that to learn how to customize. It's a very easy when it comes to setting this up how you want, making it look how you want. All right. Now, as a technician, if I do receive a phone call, I can obviously come here. I can fill this ticket out very much the same way. I won't walk you back through it. You'll notice some additional fields that came up that you have rights to that end users maybe don't, like assignment, even custom fields. You can come in here and you can see the custom fields here as well. Now, an option that we do have is what we call ticket templates. And so instead of filling out these from scratch, if you wanted, you can actually pre-populate maybe your top 10, top 15 type of calls that come in. Maybe your everyday, it would take you longer to fill out a ticket than to solve a problem. I come in here, reset username and password. I can just come in here to hit launch, and it will actually open up one that's pre-populated for that. And so, like I said, if you wanted to predefine your top 10, top 15 phone calls that come in, and a technician can just access that, you can make any edits you want to this kind of as you go, but in the same sense, you're not building them from scratch every time someone calls in for this. You can kind of have a predefined template there where you can easily get these into the system. We call them quick tickets. It's just a quick way to get some documentation done. Whether you complete it right there or maybe someone still needs to look at it. It's just an easy way to document. Now, let's say I come in here and I want to update this. I can actually come here, I add comment. I can throw in a note, right? When I save this, as you can see here, the checkbox is checked for user. I can uncheck it if I wanted, but it will actually send an email notification back to the end user with this information. Hey, we ordered your part. It'll be here on Friday, right? They're kind of in the loop. You're not having to write separate emails, make separate phone calls to follow up. We can simply do that as we update the ticket. Same thing goes for this. If I come in here and let's say I change this and I hit save, the change will be made, but it'll also open up that same thing where I could, number one, I could put in notes and send it to the user, or I could just simply continue without additional comments there. And so very easy ways to update this ticket. Even if I wanted to reassign it, it's just coming here to the drop down. It's going to document any changes I make in the history. It's going to tell you the day, the time, who made the change, and then obviously what that update or what that change was. And we keep a very good audit trail there within the history for you. Now, a little bit outside of maybe, everyday help desk tickets, just kind of at the bottom here, you'll see what we call sub-tickets. You have the ability to obviously group or merge tickets together. This is more of a project management feature where you have like a main ticket as your project, and then you have all the different assignments that are tied to it as sub-tickets. A lot of people call it parent-child ticketing, and so we do offer that within the system as well. But as said, I won't get too in depth there with that. You'll even notice the surveys results. Surveys, obviously, you have the ability to turn the survey tool off and on, where if you wanted to gauge customer feedback for a few weeks or a month or maybe all the time, you do have the ability to where when this is completed, it will send a survey to the user and it will actually post their results back into the ticket if this were one that had been filled out. Okay, as mentioned, pretty standard, pretty easy when it comes to updating the ticket. Some standard stuff. We track created dates, modified dates. We track work time. We can report on those. A lot of different options when it comes to how we want to be able to take this data and report on it, which I'll show you here in just a second. I'm not going to get into assets today, but let me just explain real quick about assets. There's kind of two main reasons that you would want to tie assets to a help desk software. Number one is to track the asset, right? Where is it located? What's on the machine? Different things like that. Number two is to be able to tie a problem to an asset, where you can then go in and it kind of shows you like a Carfax history report for each asset. Here are all the tickets associated to the asset. Or maybe you want to see, show me my top 10, top 20 problem assets this year or this last 6 months, and a bunch of different date ranges that you do have. But it's a great feature. It allows you to come in here and track your assets as well as tie problems to assets, manage your assets. It's a great feature, and I think it's even more valuable when you tie it together with your help desk because they often go hand in hand. Most of the time, the problem is going to exist with A, the end user, or with B, the asset. And so you can see both of those. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. I've been talking quite a bit, and so I'm going to wrap it up more on the managerial side. Two things. I'll go through reports last, but real quick, I want to show you templates. I talked about the quick ticket, but we actually have another way that we can use templates. The database backup, you'll notice here, I'm going to go into edit mode. The reoccurrence side. So some people call these preventative maintenance tickets. Some people call these reoccurring tickets. The fact is that oftentimes there are things that you do that are outside of help desk, quote unquote, meaning you don't just help people all day. You have a ton of things that you do behind the scenes, upgrades, updates, projects, tasks, maintenance. There's a lot of things going on, and that's probably the most common thing that's not documented. And so we wanted to find this really efficient way where you can come in here and you can say, hey, let's say we do something once a month or once a week or whatever it might be. Let's create a ticket or a work order for it, and then let's put it on a reoccurrence pattern. On the first day of every month, I want this ticket created and sent to the appropriate person or team to take care of. Now, like I said, any time frame that you'd want, you have the ability to do. But number one, great reminder. Number two, you're documenting it. Dear Mr. or Mrs. Supervisor, here's how much time we spend helping people. Here's how much time we spend maintaining, upgrading technology. within the organization as well. And so we can kind of see, both sides to what we do. It's not just about helping people all day. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that we need to track as well. All right. With that said, I'm going to wrap it up with reports. Now, there's two types. You can come in here and you can do a data report. Here's my column. I'm not going to spend some time here, but I can move fields around. I can put them in any order. I could remove a field from the view. I can add one. I want to see contact name. I want to see it first. As you can see, very easy to customize. And then I can run the filter. I mean, you may want to see all of these fields, but you only want to see certain values of those fields. And so I can come in here and say, let's say I only want to see closed tickets, right, for status. Now, I can come up here and I can say, well, what date frames, what do I want to do? Today, this week, this month, a range, right? You can go in here and you can see all of that information as well. You can be specific to certain locations. I mean, any field, even custom fields, you have the ability to show and filter within a data report. And then you can obviously name them, you can save them, and then they're all stored right here. Now, you can also graph them, which is what I'll do. Closed trending by category. So what this is let's say you want to see how many have we closed this week, and what types of problems did we see. And so I can come in here and I can say, okay, it looks like we closed this many tickets. Here's how much time we spent. Here are the types. I come in here to hardware. I drill down. What types of hardware issues did we see this week? 16 boot problems. I drill down. I can actually even open the ticket from the report. I don't have to go back and forth. Now, maybe this isn't a boot problem. Maybe this is a Nikki Patterson problem, right? As I mentioned, it's either the end user or the asset. And so in this scenario, it looks like it might be the end user. And I can kind of see that here. Now, if I come back here, I'm going to go into edit mode. When I drilled this down, I saw category. Now, you can come in here and you can say, well, I want to see this by location, or I want to say, hey, how many did we close by technician, by priority, by status? I mean, there's a ton of different ways that we can break this information down. And when you're secondary drill down, you can decide what you want to see. I can even do this in PDF, Excel, CSV. I can do this, pie chart, bar charts. I can run it on a schedule, automate it. Hey, instead of me running this every Monday, how about you just email it to me every Monday, or email it to these particular people? And so, it's easy for us to even automate the creation and the sending of the report. Now, if I come back here, I have a different scenario for you. Hopefully, I haven't changed anything. Yeah, so here's how many open tickets we have. It's broken down by location. I come in here. Well, what statuses are we at? 6, assigned not updated. I drill down. I can see those individual tickets. I can even open them from here, and then I can view that information and update it. Whatever I wanted to do, I can do from here. As you can see here, dashboards, we can actually take up to 4 of these reports and put them into a dashboard view. You can have multiple dashboards. It just limits you to 4 reports per dashboard. It's great for real-time results, right? You open the dashboard, it updates every about 5-10 seconds, so you're getting a real-time view of how many tickets there are, volume, aging, lots of different options when it comes to the reports. As mentioned, I'm scratching the surface here. It's just going to be a brief overview today. But if you wanted to do, something a little bit more in depth, we'd be happy to schedule a time to do that with you. With that said, Amy, I'm going to turn the time back over to you. If you wanted to see if there's any additional questions that maybe we can answer, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, just a reminder, if you do have any questions, you can put those through on the chat or the Q&A. But Gus, as far as I've seen, I am not seeing any questions right now.
Okay, well, we'll give it another minute. For those of you that don't have questions, thank you so much. Maybe, Amy, is there a view with our contact information that they can contact us later with?
Yes, let me get to that slide.
If you do have additional questions, Amy's going to go ahead and post up our contact information, so you feel free to email that in, and we would be happy to, there it is. You can call us, you can email us, we can get back to you. Sometimes you get off the webinar and you kind of say, "Oh, I wish I would have asked that," and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you do have. We'll stay on the line here for a few minutes. Once again, if you have questions, feel free to ask away. Looks like one has come through. Are users able to email this solution to open tickets? Yes. I apologize for not getting to that, but we actually have a feature called Email to Ticket where we can automate the creation of the ticket based on the email. And so there's kind of three main avenues: the web form, phone call, and then email. You do not have to copy and paste stuff from emails. We actually can automate that and put it into a queue for you automatically. Another question that's come through: is there a way to be able to bill out time spent on tickets to the customers? We do track work time, and so it allows you to run that filter or report, and then you can export it. And so you can go in there and you can say, these are the 5 instances, this is how much time we spent on each instance, and then you can bill from there. And so yes, we track the work time, you can export that, and then you can get it to the appropriate person. The next question: what does the mobile solution screen offer look like? I don't have a simulator on my machine. On our website, grouplink.com, I think grouplink.net will get you there as well, but we do have a video that has a simulator that will walk you through the mobile interface. And so feel free to jump on there. It's like a 3 or 4 minute video where you can go in there and get look and feel for that.